Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to some more Battle Spot singles on iStarly TV. I am back with another team that I've been kind of testing with a little bit online here and there. It's been a lot of fun. I'm using some kind of annoying threats and some unconventional things, in addition to a couple things that I've been using. So you'll notice Blaziken and Zapdos there. Pretty standard stuff, except I did switch out the Zapdos to give it static. So it has the static ability now, which means physical contact moves have a 30% chance to paralyze the opponent, which I find to be very useful. I have Tapu Fini, which is a Pokemon that I haven't used really at all in this series, so I'm excited to use it because it's a clearly very, very good Pokemon. It's just, I just haven't used it yet because I feel like there's so many different ways to use it and I was looking for the right one. I'm using Mega Gengar, which has it's sub-disable, no, sorry, it doesn't have substitute. It has disable, perish song, and protect, and then it has shadow ball. It has max HP, max speed, and the purpose of it is to trap the opponent with shadow tag, which is Mega Gengar's ability, and then prevent them from switching, and then perish song so that they can't switch out, and then on the very last turn before perish song runs out, you switch out into another Pokemon, and the opponent automatically dies. I mean, it's a powerful ability. It's very annoying, but you have to use it correctly. I feel like I'm just using it just for fun, and I didn't really think of the team composition that well when I was building it, but we'll kind of see how that works. And then we have Focus Sash, Mamoswine, pretty standard stuff. And then you'll notice in the bottom left corner, I'm actually using Cinccino, which is a really, really strange Pokemon that you don't see very often at all, but this thing has actually been doing decently well for me. I'm enjoying using it. It's a lot of fun to use. The main reason to use it is because it's really fast and because it has skill link. So you can use moves that hit 100% of the time, they will hit 5 times. And I also hold King's Rock, which gives me a very high chance to flinch the opponent. I believe it's like a 40-something% chance to flinch the opponent, which is actually very, very high. Might be around 50, I'm not sure, but the point is, with King's Rock and Skill Link, you have a very high chance of flinching the opponent, and because Cinccino has decent speed, it's very likely to outspeed most threats. And Cinccino has been kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes it's really, really good and no one expects it, and then sometimes it is just not good. So we'll see how this works out. This is kind of a just for fun team that I built. This team is available for you to use. I will be posting a link to the QR code in the description. So if you'd like to use this team for yourself, you can scan this QR code and enjoy it yourself and see what you think about it. So definitely check that out. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but feel free to follow us on Twitter and Twitch. I'm somewhat active on Twitter. Usually when I post a new video, it does automatically post to my Twitter, so you'll be able to see when I am posting new videos. But also, I'm thinking of streaming very soon on Twitch, and so if you'd like to see me stream, you can definitely subscribe to me, or sorry, follow me on Twitch. And I plan to start streaming very soon, hopefully this weekend. I really want to start streaming this weekend, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, let's look at my opponent's team. They are also using a QR code. They are using a QR code. I'm not. My Zapdos looks like it can do some work here. It can beat Ferrothorn. I actually do have Heat Wave. It can deal with Porygon because I have Toxic. It can take on Kangaskhan decently because I have Rocky Helmet and I'm max HP, max defense. And for that reason, it can also take on Mimikyu as well as Tapu Fini. I am tempted to lead with my Zapdos. The thing is, Charizard is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to handle with Zapdos. Cinccino does a decent job of taking on some of their Pokemon, but I feel like I might still struggle against others. Yeah, my biggest worry is that Charizard. So I think I'm actually just going to lead with Mamoswine. Mamoswine seems decent against my opponent's team. It's not fantastic, but it's also not that bad. Then I'm going to use Zapdos. Like I said, Zapdos is pretty solid here. And what else do we have? What are we struggling with between Mamo and Zapdos? I feel like Porygon is going to be a little bit of a problem. And then Mimikyu could be a decent problem. Charizard could be somewhat of a problem. That's a tough one. Okay, I'm just going to go into Blaziken here. Maybe that's incorrect, but we'll see. I'm still learning. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun, and when I'm battling, I think I'm okay at battling. I'm not the worst. But my problem is still like team building and team selection, so I need to work on that to get better here. But I am having fun with Battle Spot, and I hope you're enjoying it too. We will definitely try Cinccino in the next battle. I want to at least, you know, show it off, see if it can do some work. So we're leading with Mamoswine. That's pretty safe for us. My opponent does lead with Ferrothorn, which means had I led with Zapdos, things would have actually been pretty good for me. What this means here, I mean, I think I want to get up my Stealth Rock. It can break the Sash, the potential Sash of their Mimikyu, and it also will severely weaken their Charizard if they did bring this Charizard to this battle. And Stealth Rock is just overall pretty decent. My opponent's probably going to do a lot of damage to me, or they're going to get up their own Stealth Rocks. They are going to go for Power Whip. It's probably going to do a lot of damage. I am weak to it. That does quite a bit of damage. Are they Choice Banded? Choice Banded Ferrothorn is pretty unconventional, but it's not something that's extremely uncommon, I guess. Or rather, extremely unheard of. I'm just going to fodder off my Mamoswine. Again, I don't know if this is the best option for me. Just get some damage on the Ferrothorn before my Mamoswine dies. Maybe there's a chance they miss the Power Whip. They actually just go for the Stealth Rock here. Okay. In that case, I'm tempted to go for Icicle Spear. Yeah, so they do have leftovers. Should maybe I should just go for the safe Earthquake. I'm gonna go for Icicle Spear. It has potential to do more than Earthquake, and if they happen to switch into something else, then this will, you know, this will handle that. Wow, I was gonna say that did a lot of damage, but that was a critical hit. So this might end up doing a little bit. Oh, it only hits twice. Never mind. I was gonna say it might end up doing a little bit more than Earthquake would have. And this is a strange play. Maybe they predicted me to switch here, but they did go for Leech Seed. I'm extremely low on health, so they're gonna get barely any recovery back unless Power Whip is their only attacking move. I do have to keep in mind, of course, that my opponent did get up the Stealth Rock, which is going to be annoying for me because I do have Zapdos. I am going to go into Blaziken here. If my opponent has Charizard, things can be problematic because Blaziken has a tough time against Charizard. Unless they're Mega Charizard X, then I can just high jump kick. But regardless, I mean, if Charizard comes in, it will be taking a lot of damage from the Stealth Rock anyway. I'm just going to go for the safe Flare Blitz. Worst case scenario, they go into Tapu Fini, which, don't get me wrong, that would actually be very bad for me. My team is actually not the best against Tapu Fini. I anticipate they're going to go into Tapu Fini exactly. Okay. Alright, yeah, this isn't going to look very good for us here then, because Tapu Fini can take any hit from Blaziken. It can hit Blaziken for super effective damage, and then I'm gonna have to go into Zapdos. That actually did a good amount of damage given that Tapu Fini is really bulky and it resists. So that's pretty interesting. I'm gonna get the speed boost. It kind of doesn't matter. I think my best bet is just... Man, I'm actually tempted to stay in though. Go for the high jump kick, which will do a little bit more damage. Again, that Flare Blitz did a decent amount. I mean, I know I won't kill the Fini. The thing is, if I stay in, go for high jump kick just to get more damage on the Fini, and then they kill me, then I go into Zapdos. Zapdos can handle Ferrothorn and Fini easily, but then if their last one is Charizard, then I might lose, because Zapdos is going to have a tough time against Charizard. I think Zapdos can handle Mimikyu and Kangaskhan. I think. No guarantees. Okay, so that's an okay option. If I switch out into Zapdos now and I take some damage, then I think that's a little worse. I think I kind of need Zapdos, so I'm just going to go for the high jump kick here. They could be Z Haze. My Tapu Fini is actually Z Haze, which, oh my goodness, of course I miss. Well, there goes that. There goes any hope of any of that happening in my favor, but I guess that's okay. That's how it goes. Sometimes you miss the important moves. That is unfortunate, but we're going to have to pull back from that. We have one Pokemon left. My opponent has all three. If their last is like Mimikyu, then I might have a decent chance. I don't know. Well, even then, Mimikyu is going to be able to get off a Swords Dance. Yeah, so this is not looking good for me, but, you know, we got to try. We got to try. Because you never know. I've had some excellent comebacks in the past. Obviously, this Thunderbolt's going to be hitting Fini for super effective damage. If they go into Ferrothorn, then I can just go for the Heat Wave and probably finish it off. I think there's a good chance Thunderbolt finishes off the Fini. It does. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Zapdos is really powerful. And again, my Zapdos is defensive. It has max HP and max defense, but it has a naturally high special attack stat anyway, and that was a stab. Super effective Thunderbolt. They are going to go into Ferrothorn. Maybe they're using it as fodder. Maybe they're not expecting me to have Heat Wave, or maybe they have some other kind of plan that they're trying to scout for. Either way, there's no reason for me to not go for Heat Wave. At this point, I have to just play straightforward. I can't really make any big predictions, but I do hit, and I'm able to kill the Ferrothorn. So Zapdos is on a roll here. Let's see what their last one is. If it's Kangaskhan, I might have a chance. I haven't done any calcs, but Static and Rocky Helmet and Max Defense will help me against any of their physical attackers. If it is... Okay, it's Mimikyu. Okay. So they're going to take some damage from the rocks. And... Oh, man. Okay, yeah. I don't think there's any reason for me to not just go for Thunderbolt here. They are very likely just going to get off a Swords Dance. I feel like I can take a +2 attack. Paralyzing the Mimikyu would be nice. So this is a close one. This is going to be a very close one. I think I have to make the right plays here. I don't think there was any real reason for me to go for Roost there, because then that allows them to go for another Swords Dance and get to +4, at which point I'm in a lot of trouble. So here's the thing. Oh, so that's important. So the Misty Terrain disappears, which means that their Mimikyu can now be paralyzed. Before it wasn't able to, and that's something that I didn't catch until right now. So our options are Roost. If we go for Roost and they go for Swords Dance, we're in big trouble. If we go for Roost and they attack us, that helps a lot, because I'm pretty sure we can live a +2 attack, unless they have the Farium Z, in which case we might be in trouble. If I go for Thunderbolt and they attack me, we might be in trouble. If I go for Thunderbolt and they Swords Dance, then that's great for us. I'm going to Roost. I feel like that's the best risk versus reward. Okay, so they just attack us, so that's great. As long as they don't get a crit. Yeah, as you can see, that doesn't do that much at all. And they take Rocky Helmet damage. We didn't see Life Orb, so they very well could have their Z move. But I'm just going to go for the Roost here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that Z moves ignore, like, Rocky Helmet. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt there. I mean... If we just spam Roost, yeah, see, that's going to just force my opponent to just start attacking or start Swords Dancing. So there's, I think this is a good play just going for T-Bolt here. I don't know if we'll kill, but we might. No, we don't. Paralyze? No. Okay, so this is what it comes down to. They have to kill us here. If they have the Z move, which I think is pretty likely. I mean, they could have had Focus Sash. We know they don't have Leftovers. They don't have Life Orb. So they probably have Z move or Focus Sash. If they have Focus Sash, we're in a good spot. But at the same time, I don't know if we'll live a +4 attack. I'm really not sure we will. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what we do at this point. Or rather, Roosting doesn't do anything because they're going to be faster than us anyway. Just going to go for the Thunderbolt. If they have it, they have it. Oh, they went for the Play Rough. That was a bold play on my opponent's part because Play Rough does have a higher chance of missing. They did get a critical hit, and then we paralyze them with the Static. Had we paralyzed them the turn prior, that actually would have been very important, because then we'd be able to outspeed with Thunderbolt and essentially win the game. But that's not how it played out. It's okay, though. That was a cool match. It came down to the wire. I think it was very close. I had a chance of winning, depending on how my opponent played. I feel like I did what I could. I feel like my plays, at the end at least, were fine. Like, I don't think I could have done anything really differently there. That's just how it ended up. But it was cool to see Zapdos kind of sweep through Ferrothorn and Tapu Fini, who are normally two very, very prevalent walls in the game. So let's get another battle going. And like I said, this time I will try Cinccino just because it's such a weird Pokemon. And I would love to see it get some recognition. My ranking is not very high right now. I do need to do more off-screen battles. And because I was just messing around with this team. This team is pretty hit or miss. And I do think there's a lot of work that can be done with this team. So we're fighting against Manny. So let's see how this battle goes. They have some cool Pokemon. It looks like they have a mono flying team. So that's something I'm going to want to keep in mind. Zapdos is going to be fantastic here. But even then, not necessarily, because, again, if their Charizard is Mega Charizard X, that can be a problem. Charizard in general is just really good. But I do still think that Zapdos is good here. Also, Mamoswine looks pretty good, but I think I'm just going to lead with Cinccino. And then I'm going to bring Zapdos. So with Cinccino has Rock Blast, which is very good against almost their entire team except for Landorus. So if they lead with Landorus, then I'll just go right into Zapdos. Let's see, what other Pokemon give me trouble? Otherwise, Rock Blast is very good here. Thunderbolt is pretty solid against most of these Pokemon. I think that, of course, Charizard is going to be a problem. Landorus can definitely be a problem as well. For that reason, I'm tempted to bring Tapu Fini. I am going to bring Tapu Fini. We'll see how that works. Charizard is just so good. I mean, it can be, when you see a Charizard on the opponent's team, at least when I do, I don't know which one is more common these days. I think it's X, or maybe Y. I don't know, but the point is that Charizard can be Mega Charizard X, or it can be Mega Charizard Y, both of which are just super different. They're both really powerful in their own ways, and they both do really different things. So if you're expecting to beat Charizard X, a Pokemon that does well against Charizard X might not necessarily do very well against Charizard Y, or even might struggle against Charizard Y. So you see the problem there. If you see a Charizard, you're like, which one is it, and how do I try to beat it? How do I try to beat the general Charizard? So we got Manny here. Let's see what she's got going on. Tornadus. That is actually good for me because I do believe that Cinccino is faster than Tornadus. My opponent is probably like, what the heck is going on? They're using a little rat with a scarf. Alright, so the problem with this set is that Tail Slap and Rock Blast do have a chance to miss. So that's the scary part here. But when they hit, they are really good. So my opponent can stay in. If they do, they're going to take a lot of damage from this Rock Blast, assuming we hit. Or they could switch into Landorus if they have it. And again, Landorus is going to be a little bit of a problem for, at least for my Tapu, or sorry, for my Cinccino. Cinccino, I think that's how you say it. Cinccino? How do you say it? Tailwind, that is not a good sign. That is a pretty bad sign. Yay, we hit the Rock Blast! And unfortunately, we will not be flinching them because they attacked first. But I think this is going to kill their Tornadus. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance this kills Tornadus, which is awesome. So this little rodent with a scarf was able to take down a giant monster, so that's kind of cute. And we got a critical hit on the last one. I don't think that matters, though. It looked like we were on point to one-hit KO the Tornadus. Anyway, the fact that they got off a Tailwind is just not good for us, though. I'm kind of hoping they go into something like Toucan here. I mean, Cinccino cannot take a hit. That's the thing. Cinccino is very unlikely to be able to survive a hit from anything. They do go into Landorus. I'm afraid... This is shiny. Nice. I'm afraid if their Landorus has Swords Dance and or Rock Polish. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go into Tapu Fini. For a couple reasons. First of all, Tapu Fini handles Landorus a lot better, but also because it has Haze, and then also because if I can preserve my Zapdos for the end game, I know that Zapdos is really good against the rest, almost the rest of their team. So they are going to go for the knockoff, and that's actually fine for me because I resist it, and I do have the Z move. And here I'm just able to go for the Hydro Pump, or should I go for Nature's Maddest? No, I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. They do have Pelipper who resists it, but if they have Pelipper with them, that's okay because I have Zapdos in the back. Yeah, they did bring Pelipper, which is really interesting. This is a really interesting sequence of plays on my opponent's part. I am not afraid of Pelipper at all. I guess they have super 100% accurate Hurricanes. I don't really care. I did miss the Hydro Pump. That's annoying. But that is okay. I have Z-Haze. Z-Haze removes all status boosts from the opponent, and it also heals my HP all the way to maximum, so that's very good. I am just going to go for the Nature's Madness here. I'm not sure how much Moonblast will do. I doubt it'll do much more, though. They're going to go for the Hurricane. Wow. I'm also okay with just kind of stalling out the Tailwind. That's going to be a priority of mine, is just get rid of that Tailwind. And there we go, it's gone. That wasn't hard. So now I'm going to go for the Moonblast. I could have gone for Z-Haze there. I'm not that afraid of this Pelipper, and I should be outspeeding Pelipper now as well. they could have Tailwind on Pelipper, but I don't know. My opponent's team looked fun. I mean, it looked like a powerful team because it had powerful Pokemon, but it didn't look like a very synergistic team. I mean, of course, having a mono flying type team, any mono type team is going to suffer against teams that build, like, you know, a mix of moves and things. So they're going to bring out their Landorus in the rain. I think there's a chance it's Choice Scarfed because they did switch out after they used Knockoff, but I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump. If we hit this Hydro Pump, we're probably killing the Landorus because it's going to be super effective damage in the rain, which is just crazy. I don't have any special attack investment in Tapu Fini though. And yeah, we survive, and we need to hit this. We do. So that's probably GG for the Landorus, and it is. So that was a fun match. Got to try out the new team, and again, my rating's not that high. I definitely need to work on it. I really do, but I'm having fun trying out new Pokemon and new threats so that when I finally, my opponent disconnected, when I finally do better, when I finally move up in the rankings, I can try out things like Cinccino. I actually have been playing a lot of Pokemon Showdown and using this team on Showdown, and I've been actually winning a good amount more. So, point is, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like. Please follow us on Twitter and Twitch. Please comment below what your favorite Pokemon is to use from Pokebank so far. I know I've already asked that, but I really want to see, and there are so many Pokemon. Like, right now, I'm enjoying using Cinccino, and I'm going to be EV training a Volcarona very soon, so you'll be seeing a Volcarona very soon. Once again, if you like this team, you can download it. I will post a link in the description. Log into your Pokemon Global Link account, select the team, click Display QR Code, and scan the QR code when you're about to battle online, and you can use my team for yourself. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for more.